Welcome. Would you like to introduce your name, course, and your year?
So I'm Chloe and I'm a third year retail management student. So I'm currently on placement and going into my final year in September.
Okay, would you like to mention your hometown?
I'm from Southampton, but I was living in Bournemouth and now I'm living at home for my final year.
Okay, so could you remind us of the course you're taking?
So it's retail management.
And why did you choose your course?
I chose my course because I was always interested in business studies when I was at college, and I'm interested in sort of fashion at the same time, but I didn't want to restrict myself with just going into a fashion business course. I'd rather have the whole of retail just in case I change my mind, and you just want to keep your options open a little bit. So yeah, just I like the fact that it was more focused on retail rather than business as a whole. So
And what do you think of your course 3 years down the line?
I love my course. Because we've got quite a small course, there's only about 25 of us in total. It's more like a seminar layout, so it's quite unusual. Normally, business courses have like hundreds of students, but because we're such a specific subject, it's quite nice and everyone knows each other, and our lecturers are really kind and helpful. So yeah, I honestly don't have a bad word to say about my course. It's been like the best 3 years so far.
Okay, so did you come from a sixth form or college background?
I came from a college background.
And what did you study in college before you came to university?
So I did A levels in business studies, textiles, and economics. And then I did an AS level in history. And then I did an EPQ in about like fashion as well. So just as an extra little thing.
So do you think any of these subjects helped you with your course?
Business helped me a lot. I would say it's the most useful knowledge that I learned, and it went into the stuff that I like thoroughly learned at uni. But economics was good for a couple of my economics units for my course, and then textiles. I suppose we did have a mood board assignment, which was quite helpful because I sort of had done mood boards in textiles. So yeah, they did link in, but business definitely, I'd say, it gives you a good like base to start with when doing the course.
Okay, and what do you think the best A level slash subjects are for the course?
Yeah, I think it would be business. I think business and economics, they just give you the general sort of idea for the market and the industry. So if you're going to go into a business sort of subject, it is best to sort of have that little bit of knowledge behind you, I think.
Okay, so could you remind us of the university you're currently studying at?
So I'm at Bournemouth University.
So at Bournemouth University, what are the best and worst things about studying at the university? We'll start off with the worst.
The worst things. God, it's hard to think of the worst things.
Anything bad for your experience of obviously being there for 3 years? Has it all just been amazing?
It ha- I don't tend to dwell on like negative things, but I can't think of a bad thing. Like honestly, Bournemouth as a uni, it's got loads of places to study. The halls that I stayed in first year were great for what you needed. It's got great transport links, which was really handy because I had a part-time job. So getting the buses and the frequency of the buses, that was really good. I wouldn't say there's like a negative that stands out to me. I know that may sound like caught like I'm trying to like be a Bournemouth representative, but at the same time, it is the truth. Like I've had a really positive experience overall.
Okay, and let's talk about the best things about going to Bournemouth University.
Best things. I think the people. It might be corny again, but I've met some of like my bestest sort of friends at university in Bournemouth, and I think that there's a general vibe of being laid back and comfortable. Whereas when I went to visit other universities, I felt a bit out of place, but I felt like I really fit in Bournemouth, and there was just like a friendly vibe in general on campus. So yeah, that's I think the best thing is the people, and I think the other best thing is the quality of learning of my course that I'm on because it's just been so helpful and I've learned so much.
Okay, so if we go into the last 3 years of where you've been living at accommodations, where did you live in your first year?
So my first year, I lived in like the resident halls of Bournemouth. So I lived in Purbeck House.
And what did
Um,
you think of Purbeck House?
Purbeck was great for what I needed it for. It was first year. It's a very social hall, so if you like to go and party, then that's the place to be, sort of thing. But since I've been there, other halls have
Been
been
built.
created and built. Yeah, so I'm I'm sort of biased, but I love Purbeck. It wasn't the most quality. Like I only had a single bed, and the like communal areas were quite like average. But in terms of meeting people and being really sociable, it was a great place to be.
Okay, and where did you live in your second year?
So in my second year, I went to like a private housing in Winton, which is like a sort of 10-minute walk to uni. So a good thing about Winton is that it is just really close. You can walk there um, really easily. So you don't have to pay for like a bus pass or anything, which is good. My house was, as most student houses would be, sort of dated and sort of average, but that was just what was in our price range. And it's actually quite expensive to live in Bournemouth. So it was just what we could afford. But yeah, I lived with some of the girls that I met in my first year, so that was really nice.
And if we go just into your placement year, where how
Yeah.
does actually we'll go on to that a bit later just to get a bit more information. So what do you think the best or what are you going to be living in next year for your last year?
So for my final year, I'm going to be living at home and commuting up because I don't think I'm going to be in that much. Just because it's my final year, and I think that my timetable is a little more like spaced out, so it should be I only have to go in a couple of days a week. So yeah, I'm just going to try and save on costs and things like that and live at home.
And what do you think the best accommodation is from what you've seen?
I loved Dorchester House, like from the point of first year, but that was like the nicest halls when I was there. But since then, like Oxford Point's been built, that was like by Purbeck, so I could see it being built in the process of when I was staying there. So that was really nice to see. So I can imagine that there's some really nice ones now, but Dorchester was always like the loveliest place to stay when I was there.
Okay. So if we go into the Bournemouth area, what can you tell us a bit? Is there a lot to do, a little to do? If we go more into like right now the nightlife, what
Yeah.
is the Bournemouth nightlife
Um,
like?
I really like Bournemouth nightlife because there's sort of like two main places that I would go, and it's the old fire station, which is the Bournemouth Student Union Club, and that was really well located when you're in first year because it's literally round the road from most of the student accommodation, so just really handy to walk to for a night out. And the other one was Cameo, which was on a Wednesday, was the best night, and that was
Cameo
always
Wednesdays
really
is something
fun.
I've heard
Yeah, the best
repetitively.
one of the best nights. So yeah, the nightlife. I mean, people would visit me from other unis and say, "Oh, you're so lucky! Like you've got so many good places to go out, and it's not that far to get to. You can sort of walk or get a short taxi to most places." So yeah, really good
Okay.
place to go
So
out.
if we go into shops, are there a lot of shops in the area, or is it kind of just limited as it's a little town?
I think it depends how much of a shopper you are. I'm quite like I like to go shopping and I like to buy new things. But Bournemouth is good. Like it has all your basic sort of high street shops if you're interested in that, like New Look and Primark and things like that. But they're quite small. I wouldn't say they're the biggest stores. They're not like it's not a shopping centre. It's outside shopping, so it's fine for what you need. Like you could get little bits and bobs, but not if you want to spend a day shopping sort of thing. I wouldn't say it's the best for that.
And how what's the like food shops like? Is there just like you said limited to, or is there a good variety of shops?
So for first year, when I was living in student accommodation, we were really close to the big Asda, which is by Bournemouth train station, and that was great because obviously really cheap. It was a really big store, and you could just walk there and back really easily. For second year in Winton, I used to go to the Lidl because that was really cheap, and I think it was only about a 2-minute walk from where I was living. So I've never had an issue with like getting my food shop or anything like that.
Okay, so if we go now into your placement here, could you
Yeah.
tell us how hard it was to get your placement? And then I'll ask some more questions after you've explained that. So from when
So
did you start applying for your second year? Third year, sorry.
So it was in about, I think it was late September, early October time of the year before I would start, sort of thing. And there was slight guidance, like we had talks with placement advisors and things like that, and they would say what the best websites were to look on and how to sort your CV out, and you get support from your lecturers as well, in my case as well. And so that was really helpful. But then you're mostly sort of left on your own to get on with it, which I suppose is just naturally what should happen as you're like growing up and getting into the job world and things like that. Um, so I was just applying on all different types of retailers, because I wasn't just applying for fashion. I was applying for like supermarkets and like the vehicle industry and things like that. So, and then it was quite a long process, and a lot of work went into applications, because for big companies especially, they normally like have a 3 or 4 stage sort of job offer scenario. So you have to sort of do your CV, covering letter for every single brand, and adapt it for every single brand, and then going through, and you might have like a test or something like that, and then a phone interview or a physical interview or things like that. And I actually got offered the one for New Look, so I did about 3 different steps of applying, and then I went up to London for my like testing day with a group of about, I think it was about 10 of us, and yeah, it was just all different things, all different tasks, and how we acted with other placement students and how we acted to the tasks. And then a couple of weeks later, I got the phone call. So yeah,
And in your
really good.
placement year, do you get student finance?
Yes, you do get student finance. I think it's a lesser amount in general, but it's then again, it's dependent on if you're living at home. It's dependent on if you're living in London. And because I was living in London, you get a higher, it's as if you like go to uni in London, you get a higher finance so that you can afford to live there, dependent on like levels of how expensive things are. So yeah, so I got a fine loan. It was, yeah, it was very helpful in sort of sorting my deposit out for my house and things like that.
And in would you are you happy you took a placement year, or do you think it could have been it wouldn't have affected your course if you did or didn't take it?
I think that it was really valuable, because it makes you stand out. If you haven't sort of had that experience, a lot of retailers sort of even now, graduate jobs will ask for like a minimum of 1 year's experience in the field. So I think it's just been really helpful in putting it in my CV and actually putting my skills that I've learned into real life situations, because it's all well like learning at uni, but actually sort of putting it into play, that's the best part about placement.
Okay, so what advice would you give to first years?
First, okay. So first years, you just have to enjoy your first year as much as you can. I don't know if it's the same at all universities, but when I was in first year, your first year doesn't actually count towards your degree. And so I'm a bit of a perfectionist myself, and I really put pressure on myself to sort of do the best that I could. But and I did enjoy my first year, but I know some people enjoyed it far more because they were going out a lot more and things like that. But I'd just say make friends, just try as hard as you can, be yourself, because you can't keep up an act for 4 years. So just be friendly and just embrace it really. Just go out, have fun. Still learn, of course, don't like ignore your course and stuff, but yeah, just really enjoy it. And university is like the best years of your life, as everyone says. So like, just embrace the experience, really.
Okay, so you talked about obviously going to Bournemouth University and you talked about your job placement. While at Bournemouth University, did you have a job?
Yes. So when I was at Bournemouth, I actually worked in the New Look store in Bournemouth Square. So it was just a part-time job, but my manager was really flexible. And when my timetable changed halfway through the year, he would accommodate my hours and allow me to change. And when I went home for Christmas and Easter, he was just really lovely about it. So that's the thing with uni and part-time jobs. You need to have someone that's going to be flexible, because if your timetable changes halfway through the year, you need to know that you can um, be able to change your hours, and otherwise it can get quite stressful. So yeah, I was lucky with my part-time job.
And did you join any societies?
This is the one thing that I really regret not doing is a society. I was interested in a couple when I went around the Freshers Fair and I went and saw like the netball and things like that, but the level was so much higher than I was used to. Um, and they almost sort of said like if you're not a county netball player then you can't even sort of try out for the team. So I was like, oh, that's fine, I'm definitely not that. So I went to a couple of the sort of the netball which they play for fun, and I went to that for a couple of weeks, but with timetable changes and things like that it made it a bit awkward for me to go. So yeah, I think my part-time job sort of took the space of where I would have had time for a society, along with like revising and doing my assignments.
Okay. And can you tell us about freshers?
Freshers. Freshers is so fun. It's exhausting, but it's the most fun time. When I went, there was all different nights, all different clubs, and I don't remember what the exact wristband was, but it wasn't the one that was just the old fire station. It was for like Cameo and Halo, which are like outside of the university. But they had like a Where's Wally night. I think they had like an animal themed night, and it's just so fun. And like people that you make friends with at freshers may be friends with you for the rest of your uni experience. So yeah, it's just great to meet people. It's like really settles you in, and it's just a bit of fun, really.
Okay. So you obviously went to university, meaning you chose it over an apprenticeship slash going right into work. What pathed you to this choice?
I did really consider the apprenticeships or like going into a job where they sort of funded your uni as well. But in terms of wanting to go into a specific retail industry, there wasn't a lot of apprenticeships in this. There was like generic sort of like business apprenticeships and things like that. But because I was interested in the retail side more than anything, this was like the route which I could take, which I thought would be most beneficial in the end.
Okay. So at this point, we let students kind of like have a free for all where they just talk about what they want and what they like, and just literally they some students give advice. Some students will put their ads like your Instagrams, your LinkedIn's, or literally anything and everything, anything you want to say, advice or quotes or anything, or literally the floor is yours.
Okay. Well, I have in like lockdown because of everything that's going on at the moment. I have created a little sort of fun Instagram blog, and it's at Chip on Paradise, and it's sort of just like style and travel, just something to fill my time really. I've also been doing a digital marketing accreditation thing with Google, so it's online an online course for free, which they're offering, which is really good. And it's just you have to do online lessons and then you take a sort of exam at the end, and I passed, so I've got like an accreditation for digital marketing now, which is something that I'm interested in going into. So yeah, I've just been trying to keep myself busy, filling my quarantine time, and
Okay,
yeah,
that's fine.
I think
So
I
go on.
think that this platform is great, and what you're doing here is really good, and I wish that I'd had this sort of thing before I went. So I just think it's going to be really good, really beneficial to people.
Thank you. So if you just want to end the video with, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'm plugged in.
Okay. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'm plugged in.
Thank you.